Welcome to Indiegaga. We have a band from Chennai and they are called Skrat. They are with us to tell us exactly what makes them tick. So, Skrat, we have TT Sriram. He's the one who's saying hello right now and he's ticking down the time because I think he's a busy man as it is. We have Janu here, who's the bassist, and Tapas, who's the percussionist. So, this is a three-member band. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. To start with, again, I believe Skrat, the name just came up, but there must be something to it.
As we have said before many times, Skrat was sort of because we think we're a prehistoric band in general, and a Skrat is what you call a squirrel plus rat, and it usually scurries about in the undergrowth, and that's what we call the underground scene.
Yes.
So, because we sit and scurry about in the undergrowth, we decided to call it Skrat.
Yeah.
Is Skrat one of those animals you get to see on, I think there was this cartoon or this movie that came about where you had the squirrel running, what's it, Ice Age? Is that the one?
Kind of, but they inspired from us is what we think.
Is what we think. See, actually, we don't know when Skrat was formed as a band. So, were they first or were we the first? I don't know what that means.
I think we have a connect.
The movie came around 15 years back.
Yeah.
Skrat is 600 years old, man.
Yeah, Skrat, this band is actually 600 years old.
So Hollywood is copying from us. That's the news.
So I guess in that context, I'm prehistoric as well because the animal Skrat in that movie Ice Age is called Sid, and my name is Sidharth. So there's a connection here already. Right. So now that I know where Skrat came from, congratulations. It's been 15 years, a long time.
It's been quite a jaunt. Yes, absolutely.
So I think when I spoke to you last and what a little bit I know about the band, of course it's been from where you guys started to where you guys are now is like huge. I got to see a little of what you guys were playing. In fact, your first gig was put up on Facebook. And can't recognize, Janu of course wasn't there, but recognizing you
I
both.
was not there. I joined in the band later.
I know, so that's why I kind of knew that you weren't around. But thinking of the parallel universe you guys are connecting with, I think it's better that Tapas remains on percussion and we have Sriram on the guitars, just for namesake at least.
For namesake at least. See, honestly, you were right. Like, let me tell you something. Okay, we've been fortunate enough that some musicians could come into the fray and then go out of the fray, make their journey through the band or whatever. But what you call is like steeping of coffee, right? So this is the final deduction.
Yeah.
Right? So you first put some coffee, then you put some hot water, then some people will be like, okay, I want to go and play in some pop band, okay, I want to go and play cricket, okay, I'm going to go to KPMG and work a day job in Canada. And then finally you get the creme de la creme of the greatest Arabica that you can find. Okay.
So
We used to compete back in school, man. Like 20 years back, we used to compete with each other.
It's like whiskey, right? A 15-year vintage means the whiskey when it's 15 years old is better than the whiskey when it was a year old. No?
absolutely. I mean, everything matures with age, as they say, right?
Yeah.
So now talking about Skrat, I mean, when you guys started, I guess there were a lot of tea drinkers also there because, like you said, some people left, right, and center from a 5-member band. People decided, like you said, some people decide to leave, go to shores where money can be made in KPMG and so on and so forth. I'm taking that apart. Your music as a band, right? I mean, if I listen to the kind of music that you guys are playing, I mean, you yourselves have said that it started off as a funk band. Yeah. But your sound is very unique because most of your songs, you always have the percussionist coming in first with a kind of steady beat and then everything jumps into place. So is this a conscious decision or a formula that you guys are working with?
I generally put these guys in their place with my beat. No, I think it just comes naturally to us. Yeah. We just
And I'll tell you, when you have a high-flying bass guitarist that is sort of like a kite, Okay, and you have a mad frontman, you need somebody to actually bring the music to the damn thing, right? You need one. So you would say, okay, cool. Percussionist, okay, I'm just being nice. Listen, man. Imagine a three-piece band where the percussionist isn't the front. Just imagine one. There isn't one that exists. There isn't one three-piece band that exists where the musicians aren't based off of the basic fundamental percussion. You've set it.
I've trained these two well. So I think, and rock bands are very, very bad at formulas. Trust me. Guys can't remember formulas.
Yeah, so you caught on, Janu actually caught on the formula bit. From the back, he's saying, are you an engineer by any chance? Do you have anything to do with engineering? No.
I'm an engineer, he's an engineer, he's an architect.
Yeah, so he's also an engineer.
Yeah, this is really bad of Tappas saying we both are engineers. This guy is just an architect. But Sriram is trying to.
I don't think so my house stay. Don't ever go inside.
No, that's why Sriram jumped to your rescue and saying, hey, he's an engineer too, man. He's an architect, he's not just a...
But they kind of felt like they reminded themselves they're engineers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
So
out of all of us, the only person who still dabbles in his preferred arts is John. so we don't have anything to say about anything. So yes.
All right, so if I can ask you, your music, like you said, it's, Tapas, of course, being, like he said, he's got to pull you guys together, otherwise you guys will disappear off the stage kind of thing, somebody to control someone from behind. But I also know that your sound checks generally happen with you three guys actually sleeping and then wondering, should we do a sound check?
That's entirely okay. I would like to say this very loudly. So the people at the various event management companies and general clients that would like to hire us, please let us have our sound check. Now, if we don't have sound check, we sound like shit, like crap. Okay, like really, really bad. Now,
And people do enjoy those shows, no? But it's not an excuse.
Yeah, so the reason why we're sleeping is because sound check is being delayed. Sound check is being... Our Black Skrat Blues has decided to sound check for their 7 days away gig, okay, at the same time. Okay, and take my amplifiers. It's the same thing. If you don't give us sound check, we're going to sleep. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I would like this to be a PSA message for most bands, not just us, a lot of other bands as well. Please give us sound check and you'll get a good gig. If you don't give us sound check, we're going to sleep and you know how that gig is going to be.
So now in 15 years, right, the progression of you guys playing funk music, as you would put it, and then now you call yourselves a hard rock band, and somewhere in between, I remember Sriram coming up with a statement saying that we are now playing metal, right? And if I hear the kind of songs that you guys are playing and the lyrics that come out, they are all about, I wouldn't call it a world of fantasy, but they are nice stories that come in between. So I'm guessing some of it is very personal.
So,
Chaos is not a number. Sorry,
yeah,
before you say
everything
anything.
is sort of connected to personal sort of stories, but Skrat likes to stay completely in all our content away from the real world. So the entire Skrat universe can actually be connected to each other. If you listen to the songs, you'll realize that they all belong in the same universe. We might be also coming up with some new various other media in which people can connect all our songs together and actually realize that, okay, there is a song called Samurai from the second album, there's a song called Gunslinger from the first album, and then there's a song called, Bison from the fourth album, and they all belong in the same universe, in the same timeline, they all talk to each other, they all interact with each other and stuff like that.
See, that's basically because writing about real life is just too boring.
Yeah.
The same things are trending, and trending things are boring.
Yeah, right now, because trending things kind of last about a grand total of 5 days, okay, before the trend ends. So you'll be like, hey, this is trending now, let's write a song about this.
That's all gone.
Yeah, it takes 5 days to write a song, and then after that, you're just like, I it's over, bro. Now we got to go and do something else.
Some other universe. This universe is not happening for Skrat.
Sorry, talking about song Samurai, it's not Samurai, it's something else, isn't it?
Samurai Badass.
It's Samurai Badass and
Samurai
it's,
Badass, yes.
Yeah, but people know it as Laga 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 because of the chorus. It's all
Right.
about drinking beer, basically, and it's about a samurai whose entire point is to drink beer, otherwise he'll die.
Yeah. It's not in this universe, so you won't get it.
No, actually, now when I think back, when I went to your website, I saw Laga there, 15 years of Skrat. I'm thinking to myself, there has to be a connection somewhere, but I didn't get it. But now I did. So now I know what Badass Samurai is all about. Now talking about the journey that you guys are about to take and talking about stuff which is not in the real world, going to this fantasy land that you guys are creating right now and making a connection between what is happening. I can see that either all the three of you or people in your Skrat crew have something to do with graphic artists, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, we've got artists of various degrees in Skrat crew. The whole point of the crew, actually, interestingly, that you brought it up, is one, it's the biggest reason why we still exist, because we've had the opportunity to make such great, brilliant content with them. We went on a ride together, we've done a show inside of a garage, we've done so much otherwise, but the crew has kind of like gone on to becoming professionals in the particular field in which they are a part of the crew. So they've become, the DOPs that have worked with us till now have become completely industry standard, actually industry greats so everything from your video to photo to designers to sound engineers to actually musicians as well, editors.
I think they all grew with time, with us.
Right? Like they've always had that. One thing they've always said was, okay, we'll stick with this band for some reason. And we still have not figured out what that reason is.
We don't tell them also.
For example, Janu has a Skrat Crew t-shirt from
When
before he was a part of the band. And then now he's a part of the band, and he's helped us design the first album cover and everything like that. And then we're like, okay, we've come here and he's now our bass guitarist. So it's
I used to wear the t-shirt when I used to secretly compose for Skrat without Satish knowing.
Satish was the ex-bassist, right?
Yeah. The KPMG guy went to Canada.
Yeah.
Right.
But America needed him more.
I think he must be sneezing a hell of a lot right now when we're talking about it. Some of your songs also, right? I mean, when I'm thinking about it and I've listened to them, there's fundamentally something that's very different from the kind of music that you guys play and the other kind of music that people get to hear. That somewhere down the line while the song is going on, Sriram suddenly takes off and he is saying something that is not a word, but everybody else is doing chorus to it, right? That is there in most of your songs, isn't it? You just keep on saying something, but it's like a word which is there in the tune, and this happens to be there. It's like a percussionist giving a beat. For Tapas, for example, if he had to tap something in the corner, you guys would start doing a chorus on it.
Yeah, so that's basically what I did. I just took his cowbell. Boop, 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 baby, bop, bop, bop. They're not really words, but then it's basically a cowbell. If we had a cowbell, we might have played it, but then we didn't. So I did it in my mouth.
So this idea of you guys playing in a garage, I've seen the show. It's like, what was done about 7-8 years back?
Yeah, more actually.
It's actually been 10 years ago. 2011 is when we got into, that's when we recorded. Yes. Actually, 2012 we released.
This is 2021, 10 years.
2011 we recorded it, 2012 we released it.
And this was in Chennai?
This was in Chennai, yes.
And friends again from the Skrat crew did everything.
So this is basically I would say the birth of where Skrat crew started. Was because I remember there was one band that was making an album and we were like, hey man, there's so many bands that are making albums, we've got so many songs, what do we do? Then they already released albums and we were like, there's already 2 albums out there right now, what do we do that's different? And Tapas came up with the idea where he's just like, let's just play live and then release that as a video. It was in 2012. So difficult times. What do you think? What went through our minds?
I think we were also, we were generally like wanting to, just like you were saying, we wanted to do something different, and we had the space to kind of like put together a small gig, and we had the talent around us. We had friends who were all good at shooting and editing, and so the idea came almost like it came to me probably because of all of these things that were anyway happening around us. And we just decided to utilize all of our friends and our the space we have, the music we have created, and make a small piece of something that we can put out on the internet. Back then, we didn't even know how big we didn't even know Facebook was something that we weren't fully adept with. We were just out of Orkut, and
we're just out Facebook, where it's like, okay, 2012, what's happening in this thing? Okay, YouTube's a big thing. Apparently, you can put music on YouTube right now, and we're like, oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, sure. Apparently, we can shoot right now. Oh, how can we do that? Oh, with cameras. Oh, really? Oh, fantastic. Like, we literally decided to do something that we had no clue how to do. The only thing is, nobody told us that we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, and it was received quite well across the country.
I think that was the starting of the crew.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was the starting of the crew, and honestly, the starting of the band in its current entity. In its current three-piece, in its ideology for DIY. Any band can go and make content out of anything. We were sort of got on the content game a little earlier than it was supposed to, but we kind of preempted it a little bit and then completely forgot about how it Basically, we just did things that nobody told us that we shouldn't do. We let's put a video. We didn't think that would be an issue to say, okay, it's going to be difficult to put a video out from this thing and it's going to be 5 songs. But I think the process of how we did it attracted a few people who were also kind of interested in, oh, this is interesting. Let's have some fun. And this whole let's have some fun ideology has just birthed people's careers to a point where I can see a lot of people who have taken that forward and made something of themselves, making great content after that. So the crew is sort of our kind of one day we'd like to give back to the crew, which is our main kind of focus, because 15 years, just a band, it's impossible without a crew. It's impossible because that's where all the art stuff starts to happen. We get vexed about things, we get irritated about things. When people are there to help us out about and you trust in them, we have something. So this could be something a lot bigger, and that's for another time.
So I guess when you're talking about the Skrat crew, it's all about the guys feeling they belong, basically. I mean, they feel that they are Skrat also. I mean, even though they call Skrat crew and you guys are Skrat.
Skrat stopped being a band a long time ago. 2012, I think we stopped being a band. We started sort of, okay, we don't want to call it one, but we sort of became a production house.
More like,
talking about...
We didn't talk to any professionals.
We
didn't talk to any professionals about the idea.
Yeah.
They would have charged us and they would have made it complicated. These were friends, all well-wishers and talented artists. That's all we needed.
And all we needed to do was just take those friends and well-wishers on board and say, oh, let's do something today. What are you doing today? Shall we make a video? Okay. And then we moved.
Also talking about the video in itself, I mean, it's actually, if you look at it, it's almost a concert that you're hosting for somebody. I mean, if you had to play something in a garage right now, I mean, the same thing you did 10 years back, I mean, in 2012, people would say, okay, this is a virtual concert that's going on, if you actually think about it.
Yeah, that's what it was. We kind of did do that, and I don't know, it was something that was extremely new, even though it was old. I'm not saying that we are the only band to have done that, and there have always been bands from the West who have all done so many of these kind of videos. We've obviously inspired from them. But coming from a country like ours where the music is not much, I think we kind of outdid ourselves at that moment, at least, and we kind of are happy with that. I think that gave us every bit of boost that we needed in this country,
and I think we've been chasing that high ever since from that 2012 release of In the Shed, where we had done something that not many people had done, or we had done something that people were like, whoa, what is that? That's interesting. So we've been chasing that that high of trying to push ourselves to doing other things around the music in general and have other facets that are connected to the artwork. More art inside a closed space is better than, it just being one piece of art being spread to a billion people. So it's just a lot more sort of like give and take between people. We grew as people. Our music styles changed with the years. We have, because of the people who are around us and the crew, is a lot. For example, we got one bass guitarist through the crew, right? Like that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Our HR department is very strong.
Human resource.
Because we have no HR department.
Talking about, in the shed, from the time, the garage actually opens and you come in the beginning when I was looking at it, I was thinking to myself, this must be in Pennsylvania or someplace like that, because the garage is like one of those garages that you find out there, and I'm looking behind, I'm saying, no, this is definitely India only because, I can see the background happening there. But once you guys start coming in and you started with Tin Man Can, that was the first song that you started playing.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like you guys are going from one song to another, but it's like you had any stops in between because it just seems that you're playing one after the other after just going on with it. So was that something that took place?
We did the entire set about 5 times. We didn't know how to do it any other way, so we did the entire thing so many times. This is the first time dabbling in video as well, so I have no idea how the end product came out or which
No, it came out really well. I mean, you've seen it, right? I mean,
yeah, so no, I'm saying in terms of how we chopped it up, but we just managed to bring out some 5 takes from various things, or I don't even know how it ended up.
Basically, we walked into the garage, played 5 songs, and walked out of the garage 5 times.
The whole thing we did it.
And then we just okay, so which one's the best?
So if I can ask your influences, what have they been? And if you're listening to bands that have influenced you, because your music, again, I'm saying this again because of the kind of music you guys are playing. When you start listening, every song has got this funky beat to it. And then, like you said, if you don't have a cowbell anywhere around, you have something going in between, which is a chorus, which people, in the audience are going to sing to, because each song has got a different one coming together. So when I'm listening to Skrat, right, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, these guys are playing something different. I'm also thinking to myself, when I was listening to you, I'll tell you honestly what I was thinking. I was like, okay, these guys have got some influences that have come out of Brit rock. I might be completely wrong here. And then I'm thinking to myself, because these guys seem like they're playing stuff that came out, in the early 2000s. They were listening to bands from then, but then it has a Brit influence. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I'll tell you,
What are the
man,
influences?
if the British never left India, no, we would be somewhere else. I'll tell you. And Chennai is still colonial. Probably that's where we get. We are not.
The British left us with the
guys. We copy from Chennai only. Chennai, there are forts, central, everything is British.
Okay, where is Britain right now? Actually, old Britain. It's in India, right?
India, yeah.
Don't you think old Britain is in India? What the British left us was railroads and punk rock. Is what they left us with. So thank you for your British sensibilities. Dear old Lord Britain.
But yeah, I think we can, definitely date our influences to all of what you said, the post-2000s era of music. Because we've all been individually influenced by the grunge era, the punk rock era, Linkin Park, whether it's the rap, whether it's Limp Bizkit or Cher, Madonna.
Yeah, everything from Cher, Madonna to Link Ray to Linkin Park to say, I don't know, the Stokes. There's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot. RHCP. Marilyn Manson is a huge influence.
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails is a big influence. Oh, yeah.
Foo Fighters.
So, 15 years old band, no? So, we have a lot of
Gorillaz.
Gorillaz. I think, you know what? That's the best way. If we just randomly tell you our influences, right? It's better than you getting a list from us. The Raconteurs. Oh my God, Jack White. Everything. all of Jack White. And lots of Indian bands. Pantera, lots of Indian bands. Also
Chaos.
Chaos.
From Kerala.
Currently chaos. So we are still being influenced, and we have our influence didn't stop in 2006 when we started the band. It's still today. Chaos for sure from India.
I think basically we are fans of good music anywhere from anywhere. Yeah. And
But you also, but you guys also have a song called Chaos. So was that dedicated to them?
Yeah, but that it might have any kind of similarities with the band Chaos is purely incidental.
Please read offer document carefully before listening.
You have a small disclaimer that you're putting out there right now, aren't you? It's got nothing to do with
We love
copyright.
Chaos, but this is not based off of their name.
And we have another disclaimer. Are you a robo?
Are you a robot?
Check which box has got a cycle in it now, huh? Or a guitar somewhere if you're the bassist. So talking about what's going to happen from here on, the future of Skrat, like you say, the Skrat crew is not deciding what you should do. It's basically waiting for you guys to decide what should be happening. But I happened to get some time to talk to Sriram before, and in between in the interview also, he's kind of very cryptically said that we have things that are going to be linked up between all the albums that we have, from the fourth to the one that came out in the beginning. So Bison, Queen, it's all there. The samurai who drinks beer also is going to connect somewhere in between. But it's all going to be a story, and that is going to come out soon. So this story that is going to come out is already in the making. It's just a question of time that you guys go to the studio, I'm guessing, because Sriram said, we don't want to say, I'm actually quoting him verbatim. He said, I don't want to say anything because it might just not happen.
That's one very important thing with Skrat, because if we say something and it doesn't happen, then we're like, why did we say
Why did we say it? We could have done it. See, the fact is that no, we try about 5 things, and then one thing or 2 things, when it comes out, we're like, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So that's where we want to go.
But I think we are definitely on the verge of connecting a bunch of things with respect to our characters and our stories from before into our next album. And before that, hopefully we have a list of things. We actually have a bunch of things that we want to put out, whether it's books or movies, or our ideas are like unlimited.
So think all sorts of media. What are people's favorite medias, and this is the things that we'd like to dabble in. So that's, I think, a better answer to this question on what we like
to summarize it. We can say we are writing a lot of songs.
Yeah, we're writing a lot of
rock band
songs.
should do, we are doing.
Yeah.
Sincerely, we are doing.
We're writing a lot of songs.
Writing a lot of songs.
We're also going to connect a few other things. There are going to be other media influences. Basically, we might be looking at something in the form of
Written
formats. To put it as an overview, maybe some story linkages, maybe something interactive, maybe something a little bit more than just a piece of art. Maybe it'll be merchandise. It'll be a lot of things. So there'll be a lot of things. We're doing everything right now. So when people see it, and when it starts coming out, everybody will know.
15 years of doing everything and so much together, dabbling in everything, seeing what works, what doesn't work, really doesn't matter. For me to say that it's been a pleasure having you guys on, and hopefully we'll do more with you on Indiegaga. Having said that, I would like to also add that whatever ideas you don't use here, don't think about it too much, because it's being used in the parallel universe, like you have very kindly put it.
Oh my God, you made my year. I don't know how.
Immediately talk to our HR team.
I'm gonna go. No. I'm gonna go drink now and then just be happy. Thank you so much for that. That just made my year. Fantastic.
And all the best for the future, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Ciao.